Hotel brothers and sisters, Black Power. As always, giving honor to the Queen, giving honor to the ancestors, giving honor to God, the Creator, the Most High, and my ancestors, as well as the ancestors. Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers, my in-laws, my father, my sister, and all of the brothers and sisters who are fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation, as well as my subscribers, my donors, my supporters, my viewers, and all you brothers and sisters that are fighting to make an effort to change the status of the black nation. First of all, I want to give some honors and some credits due to some people such as Diane Nelson, Sister Diane Nelson, excuse me, who is doing a tremendous job and putting in a lot of work in the streets. She's putting more work in the streets for black liberation than most men that I know, most males that I know. So we must give her honors. And once again, like I said, she has one eye, sight in one eye, has to walk with a limp with a cane, and is battling lupus on a daily and consistent basis. But yet finds it in her heart and in her spirit, with the help of the Creator and the ancestors, to get out and help our people by feeding and clothing them. Also, Brother Mark Gipp, Brother You Are Wanted, Denise Lindsay. You know, I got a shout out, you know, to her beautiful son. You know, I want to give him a shout out and let him know that, you know, everything is going to be all right. You know, he's a strong little young guy, hopefully, because he has a good mother, and hopefully, you know, he can grow up and be a true warrior. Brother Nathaniel, Little Nathaniel, you know, I call him Little Nat, because he can have the spirit of young Nat Turner. So, Sister Gladys Holcutt and her moms, you know, and the reason why I give, you know, people honors and credit, because it's rightfully deserved, whether they want it or not. You know, my brother Terry and his wife Lakeisha, his queen Lakeisha, you know, down in the South. You know, we haven't forgot you. Look forward to hearing from you soon. And any other, Brian Simpson, any other brothers and sisters, Denise Duke, any other brothers and sisters that I may have missed, you are greatly appreciated, and I'll do whatever it takes, you know, to keep you informed with much information as I possibly can. So, you know, let's get down to the meat and potatoes of something. Now, as you see, R. Kelly, who's been the you know, scrutinizing all types of social media, all over the networks and the airways, as being such this brutal sex slave master, and, you know, and all this shit, you know, which we know this. We know this. He's a sick motherfucker. And don't get me wrong, I am not taking up for him by no means, because I really don't like, you know, his arrogance. You know, he has a high level of arrogance, and he thinks that his music can compensate for the crut sickness that he demonstrates on Queens. But I need to say this, that if you're going to point R. Kelly out, and I don't know why these crackers are mad at him to the point where they're putting him on blast, because if you notice, it's an all of a sudden thing, because they knew this motherfucker was sick from the day he signed with Jive Records. They knew this. They knew this. However, they know that he lays a golden egg every time he's in the studio. So they have a blind eye and a deaf ear to all the bullshit till it hits the fan. And so, as they do all black men, put them on blast, put them on the hanging post, and let's crucify his ass. But see, this is just a ploy to keep your mind off two things. Government shutdown and this goddamn cracker. Do I need to say his name? This rapist motherfucker who makes Bill Cosby looks like Mr. Rogers in terms of his sexual appetite. And the shit, nasty shit that he's done, to these ice apes. See, by him being a so-called white Jew, he gets a pass. They're giving him as much leeway as they possibly can to get him out of the courthouse and free him of these charges. Harvey Weinstein as well as the rest of these devils. Brett Kavanaugh and all these other motherfucking freak nasty motherfuckers. Let's pull them all up. If you're gonna charge one, let's bring them all in. Let's get them all in. And I'm really harder on my people because they know better. And no one has said anything. And it's more the fault of the motherfuckers that stood around for money and kept their mouths shut while these boys, men and women, were sexually violated. So let's look at all these motherfuckers. What about this motherfucking dog? Does he get a pass? Harvey Weinstein, who is a motherfucking demon. Harvey Weinstein is a straight nasty motherfucking ice ape. Look at this motherfucker. Multi-millionaire, possibly a billionaire, who looks like he hasn't bathed in months. And all he does is pull his little pink motherfucking dick out on these ice ape bitches. But he gets away with it. And see, Bill Cosby would not be in jail today if they were all black women that he was accused of. Real simple. And you all know this. Now, I'm going to share something real quick about Bill Cosby and what they want to do with him. They're hoping that Bill Cosby passes away while in prison. And Camille, who's dealing with dementia, where these crackers will go to her and work their way to have her press her out so she'll sign over the Cosby Show rights to these goddamn so-called white stinking blood-sucking Jews, knowing that Cosby Show is a gold mine and it'll run in the syndication forever. This is how dirty these motherfuckers are. You notice they said nothing about taking any assets from Harvey Weinstein. But every time Bill Cosby has stepped up, something devastated happened to him. He was devastated. But at the same time, Bill, you should have stuck with the black community. You thought these crackers had your back to the point where you start downing the struggling brothers and sisters. Because you remember you lived in Philly on the other side of railroad tracks, struggling. Your parents struggled. And see, this is what happened a lot of times. You niggas forget. You forget your goddamn story. And you talking about little young girls. This motherfucking wrinkled, raisin face, dick nose, pale, raw, naked goddamn Neanderthal savage motherfucker, Hugh Hefner. All he had was teenagers. And this bitch was nearly 100 years old, fucking these goddamn little children. But nobody, you crackers and you niggas giggled at him. Snoop Dogg, this Doberman Pinscher, 101 Dalmatian looking motherfucker, called this wrinkled, raisin-faced bastard his goddamn surrogate father. This goes to show you how sick the goddamn industry is. Playboy bunnies. You know, they wasn't nothing but teenagers. But no one said nothing. And see, a lot of you sisters, see, this what they do to you motherfucking bed wenches on The View and all those other shows. Wendell Williams and all these other motherfucking talk shows where they use you motherfucking wenches to slay the black man, to slay the heterosexual black man. And it's an all-out assault to annihilate the black heterosexual male on the motherfucking planet. And some of you motherfucking women, y'all marrying these ice apes, you know, and deep down inside, you want a motherfucking real black soldier, the original man. Why do y'all keep accepting and settling for these artificial motherfucking reptilian goddamn animals? Get Chris Stokes, who fucked them little children, B2K, Raz Bill, Mario, and him and that nasty fucking Marcus Houston. This sick motherfucker fucked these little children. And you know what? I blame the parents. The parents. You know, some of you parents are so goddamn greedy and selfish and so eager to get some goddamn paper where you'll literally throw your babies in the laps of these goddamn sick motherfucking pedophile niggas. There was no way this sick motherfucker should be walking. See, y'all let these niggas walk around. And you know, if it had been my son, you done motherfucker, your head would have been on my motherfucking fireplace. Your head would have been on my mantle. And I'm not cutting nothing and all that old bullshit and hush hush, don't say this and don't say that. Straight the fuck up like that. Y'all need to start, man, you know, these sick motherfuckers, and they walk around, you know, and getting the next kid and the next kid and the next kid. You know, busting these little boys open. Raz B said Chris Stokes penetrated him, you know, and that boy was walking around on tour, bleeding out the rectum. You know, and his parents, where was his parents at? This dick-sucking motherfucker, he been in the business for so long, fucking and having these motherfucking young boys, you know. Because in order to get with Quincy, you got to fuck Quincy. You got to fuck Quincy in his ass. And see what he does, he hides behind his daughters. You know, one daughter is nothing but a motherfucking ice ape bitch, a cave bitch. And the other one is a sister. The other one is a queen. The one that Pac was engaged to. But the other one, it's Kadada and I forgot the other, Kadada and Rashida. She's the ice ape bitch. You know, but Quincy, he's a motherfucking, he should be brought up on charges. You know, Al B. Shore, Tevin Campbell, you know, he fucked these boys up. Let's not forget. Because I'm gonna refresh everybody's motherfucking memory. This little peanut head, pickle jar head, faggot motherfucker, elf, dwarf motherfucking punk. He's a sick motherfucker. Jermaine Dupri, who raped Chris Cross, both of those brothers. And then when Chris Kelly, when he talked and spoke on it, he was found dead in his home. Because you motherfuckers, Jermaine Dupri got his people to kill that boy. Because he opened his mouth about you violating them, sucking them little boys' dicks, fucking them little boys. It wasn't enough that he made you a motherfucking multi-millionaire. That wasn't enough. You had to take their manhood as well as beat them out their money. It was no way that they should have been bankrupt. But since they didn't want to continue to fuck you, you work your motherfucking ink pen on their ass. And this shit goes way back. Jerry Lee Lewis. I told y'all these inbred motherfuckers, these inbred trailer park crackers, this sick motherfucker from the trailer park, grew up inbred motherfuckers. And I told y'all all these inbred crackers, got two first names. And he married his motherfucker. This is 1958 when he married his 13-year-old cousin, Myra Gale Brown. See, I told y'all these inbred motherfuckers got two first names, Jerry Lee and Myra Gale. And all he done was steal from Ray Charles and other musicians, steal their music and their style. And his nickname was the Killer. Yeah, you was killing these goddamn. See, you married Gale, but that's not telling how many of these other little children you fucked. You get the taste of a little child, motherfucker. The sick motherfucking cracker that he is. But I expect that from them because that's their nature. His hit song, Whole Lot of Shaking going on. Yeah, it was. And that's the cracker's nature. So I don't give a fuck. Look at this little girl. He was putting his dick in this little child. This motherfucker was 23, 24 years old. She had just turned 13. Just was 12 years old. She hasn't even developed puberty. None of that yet. And that's how nasty the cracker is. And some of you niggas are worse than him. This motherfucker. His face looks like a dickhead. Because he is a straight faggot. And to the point where he went on public TV stating that he was a faggot. It's a club of these white motherfuckers that do this, how he made Usher fuck him, gave Usher herpes and all types of other diseases. I will show y'all some pictures of these motherfucking faggots when they are getting fucked so bad. Their hemorrhoids hang out their ass like raw meat. It hangs out of their ass. Some have hemorrhoids that blow up to the size of a baseball. They're sticking out of their ass. And this old wrinkled motherfucker, Usher, who You know, see, Usher knew better. Usher knew better. He wanted to be like Michael Jackson. He wanted to be on that status. So he was willing to do anything. So he didn't mind biting on Clive Davis balls and fucking him in the ass and fucking P. Diddy. Because P. Diddy and Usher were lovers for a long time with the permission of Usher's mother. You know. And that's the karma that Usher got for being so disrespectful and not honoring his father. Although his father struggled with substance abuse, but you are surrounded with a bunch of junkies in the entertainment industry. So by you mentally and emotionally spitting on your father's grave, this is the price you had to pay. Same way. This homo thug shit. And this is the motherfucker that has personified the shit. You know, Birdman. Who looks like a fucking Texas mud snake. Kissing. You know, kissing Lil Wayne and all this type of shit. You know, and making it seem like it's okay. You know, all the women and men that this motherfucker has slept with. Men and women. Young boys and young girls. And now Toni Braxton, you know, has got her legs gapped the fuck open, her mouth wide open. And there's no telling what type of diseases this motherfucker has. Putting his shitty dick all up in Toni Braxton's mouth. Because she's so greedy and so much of an opportunist that she's willing to do anything. Because Toni Braxton, let me tell y'all something about her. She's not the, you know, squeaky clean, you know, sister from around the way either. You know, Babyface, you know, L.A. Reid, and all of them had a good time with her. You know, she was tossed around as well. She didn't get where she was at when her career had skyrocketed for nothing. She paid a price. And so that's why she married Carrie Lewis from Mint Condition. To try to put some normality in her life. From the freakish shit. Excuse me. Yeah, from all the nasty, freakish shit. You know, she has done. You know, and so I'm not going to sit here and play like or give you a watered down version or sprinkle this shit lightly. It has to be done like this so people can understand and realize what is going on. The process in which they take our heroes, you know, and hang them up, and let our own people crucify them, beat down on them. And this is what they do. Tyler Perry the same way. You all look at that Medea shit and look at it as if, you know, this motherfucker, you know, and Minister Farrakhan called this motherfucker a spiritual giant. A spiritual giant. That a man dresses up like a woman is a spiritual giant. You know what a spiritual giant, you know what level that puts him on if it's left up to Minister Farrakhan? Spiritual giant puts him on the level of Elijah Muhammad, of Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali, Marcus Garvey. Sojourner Truth, Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Prosser, Harry Tubman. That's what a spiritual giant is. Dr. Wilson, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Huey P. Newton. That's what a spiritual giant is. And he does the same thing. He deals with the adults. If you notice, Tyler Perry loves light skin. He loves the mulatto men. And he gives them the world. And you can tell when one of those guys has went to bed and fucked Tyler Perry, because they always get something extra. Like the brother that plays Benny on the Have and Have-Nots. He ends up getting a TV One special. A special. See, you can read between the lines, brothers and sisters. You'll be able to see all this shit. You know, and he lays down, this is a homosexual, lays hands on T.D. Jakes because he gave T.D. Jakes $1 million. So T.D. Jakes will let him lay hands on him anywhere, actually. Tyler Perry could have put his hand up T.D. Jakes' ass that day. And it would have been okay with T.D. Jakes. Because he's nothing but a pulpit pimp too. Michael Jackson. Now, I always had defended Michael Jackson, you know, and I believe for two reasons. Because to me, he's the greatest entertainer, the best dancer, best performer, you know, since childhood. No one has done it like Michael Jackson. You know, and also for his stepping up to Tommy Mottola and Sony, by him being a shrewd businessman, owning half of Sony. You know, and those guinea motherfuckers and those so-called white blood-sucking Jews did not like that, so they murdered Michael Jackson. But on the other hand, he stated that nothing is wrong with having a little boy in his bed, you know, giving him an innocent kiss and all this motherfucking freak shit. And another thing, why couldn't you have all these black children that are out here that are suffering and dying? You always pick these motherfucking ice apes. You always pick these white motherfucking babies, man. All these black children, man, that are out here, that love and adore you. And I question your love for the black child, because you never have them around. There's always one or two tokens, you know, when they used to come to Neverland. But you were always scoping on the motherfucking white boys. So, you know, he's another motherfucker. Jimmy Iovine. You know, this is the motherfucker who got Dre's butt juice on his dick. When Dre told him he'll sell his soul for $1 million, Jimmy Iovine got a receipt for his ass. And that's, you know, and Dre and them, you know, all of them are willing to do it. Ice Cube didn't just, you know, buffalo his way into Hollywood without participating in a ritual, a sex ritual. Don't let these motherfuckers fool you. You know, cause see, those are the motherfuckers they use to trick out people that are trying to go to Hollywood and enter Hollywood. They have ice cubes, you know, these hard eyebrow touching motherfuckers, you know, they play like they straight gangsters, you know, from the hood and rags the riches stories. That's to get you, that's to bait you in. Ice Cube is no more harder, you know, than Jennifer Hudson in terms of how he was worked in the system. How can you be a revolutionary rapper and then all of a sudden you start making family movies? You become a fucking comedian. Because they told you to cut that shit out. You were too conscious. Then you left Dr. Khalid Muhammad hanging. So Ice Cube, you really melted. You really ice cream. This is Jay-Z's husband, Rick Rubin. You know, this is Jay-Z's handler. Jay-Z can't do nothing without the permission of this motherfucking so-called white imposter Jew who looks like a dope fiend version of a white motherfucking Santa Claus. You know, he controls Beyonce as well. So don't get it twisted, y'all. You know, and he has fucked Beyonce. Whether you want to accept it, whether you want to believe it or not, I know this for a fact. Prior to Jay-Z and Beyonce becoming married, when Jay-Z first brought her on board, that was part of the ritual too. He had to know who was around him. He had to sample the product. Look at Dr. Gay. You know, that was another reason Tupac was murdered. You know, when Dr. Dre was hanging at the homo club in LA called Peanuts. But he was looking for the big nuts. And you can tell he looks like a straight fucking queen. You know, happy as a sissy at a hot dog factory. P. Diddy, who was going to be the first open gay music exec to come out the closet. He's coming out slowly but surely, but he wants to ensure that his fan base and his respect levels stay intact. But Mace, he hauled ass. Mace hauled ass. After Mace pulled the rubber out his ass, Mace went and tried to ask for forgiveness to get his soul back. Why do you think he went to the church? He didn't go to hustle. He's hustling now, but he didn't go there initially to hustle. He went there initially to see if he can get his soul back. Because P. Diddy, you'll never get a record deal or you'll never get any type of deal without visiting his motherfucking anus. You have to take a field trip through his hiney hole to get a motherfucking deal. This is a ritual. Elton John and Eminem holding hands. And then Eminem's response was, "I'm not gay." Who said you were? See, he told on himself. Look how Elton John is looking. He's looking at his motherfucking queens in the audience. Say, I got him. I got him. Eminem is looking like, I wonder what they're going to say about me. I have to go through this though. I have to go through this. Because if it wasn't like that, why didn't he speak on or snatch his hand away? Part of the ritual, y'all. Part of the ritual. And then Jada Pinkett had the nerve to say something about R. Kelly. You know, and she looks like a motherfucking ice ape. Here, her children are motherfucking gender swapping. You know, Jaden has turned into a woman and Willow's turned into a man. So you take the O out of Willow, that's the O for a vagina, she becomes Will. And you take the Jaden, the men, out of the men energy off of his name, and you got Jada. So you have no room to even say anything about anybody. You know, your Scientology, you know, scarecrow looking motherfucking ass, because you got all that got bleach in your skin, you know, looking like a motherfucking cartoon character with that big fucking forehead like fucking Tweety Bird, you know, with them chiseled motherfucking cheekbones. You need to keep your fucking mouth shut. Because this is your son-in-law, Tyler the Creator. Jaden publicly stated that he was madly in love with Tyler the Creator. Do your research, you'll find out. You'll see it for yourself. And look at this freak with his hand by his bottom lip. See, that's homo and bisexual hand sign language. I'm available, but right now I'm spoken for. That's why the pinky is getting ready to go up. Usher looks sicker every day. You know, rest in peace, Chris Kelly. Look at Mace. You can see that, you know, he sitting up there looking like the fucking Joker on Batman. You know, but you can see that he was turned out. Marcus Houston, same way, a sexual predator. Bow Wow too, victim. You know, you allowed Snoop's bodyguard to rape you, as that was part of your initiation. You were fucked on a tour bus. But see, the thing with you, Bow Wow, you begin to start getting into it very deep. Because you fell in love with Omarion. You know, it was love at first sight for you. And you on love and hip hop and them little shows, calling yourself being with a woman and shit. But why do you always have problems with sisters on the show? You can never be happy. Because you don't want a woman. All of those are rape victims. Even in the gospel world, same shit. You know, look at Jamal Bryant. Look like he just finished dropping it like it's hot with this big motherfucking queen. See, this is how the church is. See, the black heterosexual male has no win nowhere, not even in the church. You're either going to get consumed. If you're not married and you're happily married, a heterosexual black male, you'll get consumed, ate up by the sisters in there, because these sisters don't have men, because the black man, most of them are locked up, you know, tucked away, sucking away, or getting high. These the motherfuckers that should be locked up. Put on the show, instead of surviving R. Kelly, put on Surviving the Catholic Priest. From the Pope, from the faggot Pope, all the way down. And I remember when I said something about the Pope a couple of years ago in one of my videos. You crackers went motherfucking nuts. I don't give a fuck about that. The Catholic Church is nothing but a rest haven for fucking faggot priests. They're nothing but rapists. Walking around. What men you know walking around, you know, they don't want no motherfucking pussy. All they want is, you know, walking around with candles and these long goddamn gowns on with no fucking drawers on, hanging around altar boys. The fuck out. Nah. These motherfuckers are straight fags. Even the women too. Lisa Ray eats just as much pussy as the brat does. And see, the brat is nothing but a straight goddamn dyke. Lisa Ray goes both ways. If it has something to do with her moving up the ladder of success, Lisa Ray gonna suck and fuck you.